Welcome to Mazel Talk from ADL's Higher Ed. Each week, we share firsthand stories of Jewish students on college campuses. Their stories in their own words. This is all of our fight, and these voices need to be heard, so listen closely.
I'm Ava Tuschman. I just graduated from Indiana University with a degree in tourism, hospitality, and event management. I grew up in a small town in Ohio called Toledo, Ohio. My dad grew up there. His family had been there for a while, so we're generations deep in this town. And, great place to grow up. I grew up in a fully Jewish household, but very reformed. We only went to temple on the high holy days. We all got bar and bat mitzvah. We all had that. We went to Sunday school, we went to Hebrew school, all the things you should do, but we weren't attending Shabbat services every Friday. But my dad particularly found it very important that we knew that we were Jewish and we were proud of it. My Hebrew school class was like 6 people. My day-to-day life was very much not like Jewish focused. So it was I got a lot of comments, oh, you're the first Jewish person I've ever met. Kind of that lack of community turned me away from wanting to be Jewish because I didn't want to be different. I didn't want to be the kid who had to miss school in the middle of September for a high holy day. It was hard. The social aspect killed me the most. I wanted to be a part of everything because my world wasn't in the Jewish community. So it felt like every time I was leaving, like school or dance or anything like that, I was leaving my whole world because a lot of my friends in my Hebrew school classes, only one parent was Jewish, or, they decided that this holiday they could go to school for. So when it came to applying for college, I knew I wanted to go far away for college. I applied to Miami of Ohio because my best friend at the time went there. Kentucky, because my best friend also at the time, her older sister went there and I wanted to be her. And then Indiana, because my dad went there and I had heard about it and it was a Big Ten school. We sat down at dinner one night and my dad was like, you cannot go to Kentucky. I was like, why? He's like, because there's been all these anti-Semitic acts, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I don't care. I want to go to Kentucky. That stuff doesn't matter to me. And I stormed off to my room and I screamed down the stairs, I'm only applying to Indiana because of you. I don't even want to go to that school. And it makes me laugh now because I then went to go tour Indiana and I absolutely fell in love. I went on a day campus was empty. It was cold. It was dark, but I absolutely fell in love. I walked around and I couldn't picture a better school for myself. And I remember telling my dad in the bookstore, you can go ahead and buy something. I'm committing to Indiana. He had told me that there was a thriving Jewish population there, but again, that wasn't something that was important to me. I didn't grow up with it. I didn't think I needed it. I was like, it'll be nice to see a few more Jewish people around campus, but it won't really affect me. So at Indiana, you rush second semester. So I had all first semester to adjust and learn what college was like, get my bearings. And my dad the whole entire time, oh my gosh, you're going to join one of the Jewish sororities. My grandma, you're going to join one of the Jewish sororities. Everyone pressuring me. So, I go through the recruitment process. Indiana has 22 houses that you go through. And I fell in love with these houses and they weren't Jewish sororities. And my dad was like, that's fine, but just keep them in mind the whole time. I was like, it's fine. I'm not fully in love with it until sisterhood round, which is the second to last round. And I talked to this amazing girl who I felt like I was talking to a friend. And that was what I had been told throughout the whole entire recruitment process. Oh, when you feel like you're talking to someone you know, that's when you're good. And of course, I put the 2 Jewish sororities as my final 2 rankings. And I called my dad and I could picture exactly where I was, walking back to my dorm in between the dining hall and my door. And I called him and I said, I know what you're going to say, but my final 2 were the 2 Jewish sororities. And he was like, I told you so. I knew that you were going to like them the best, blah, blah, blah. The day was in person. I remember walking in and getting to meet everyone and getting to meet all the girls in my new pledge class. And I told a girl I liked her shoes. And she said, oh, thanks. I got them for Christmas. Oh, I mean Hanukkah, of course. And it was the first moment that it clicked with me that, oh my gosh, someone else is Jewish and feels like they have to correct themselves like I did. It was that sigh of relief that I didn't even know I needed. So, that first semester, we're so busy being new members and everyone was like, oh, let's go to Chabad together and for Passover. And Passover's like the longest holiday where you have to sit through and listen to your grandparents read the Seder, and when you have to read the 4 questions and you're just like, I just want to eat. I was like, fine, I'll go. And how bad can it be? Like, it's free food. It's not dining hall food. So I go to Chabad with all these girls, and I remember we had a blast. We all were sitting at a table together. It was like my whole entire pledge class. They were giving us wine, and we were having so much fun, and like you got to find the afikomen, like all the things that you did as a child, but you were doing it with like all your friends. And no one else was like as mesmerized as me. And I remember like wondering why. And then they told me that like they grew up with all their friends being Jewish. So this was something new to them. And I just was like, this is amazing. Like, this is what it could have been like. It was that first moment where I was like, oh, like this is fun. Like being Jewish can be fun. All the high holy days, we go and we celebrate. And same thing, I'm like excited for these holidays that I was used to dread as a child. I was the internal social for my sorority, so I planned sisterhood events and date parties. So I got elected into that position October of my sophomore year, so 2022. I loved it. It was totally my thing. My major was hospitality and event management, so I loved anything that brought people together. We come back junior year, everything's great, everything's normal. October 7th hits. And it's that first time where I'm like, oh, something happened in the Jewish community and I'm fully paying attention to it. It was scary. It was a scary time to be Jewish. It still is. And for some reason, I ran towards it. I don't know what pulled me there, but that was my calling to be like, something needs to be done and I want to help. In the midst of all of this, they realize that I'm a great connection between Greek life and Judaism. So I get the privilege, I guess, of communicating when like big things happen. So like, unfortunately, Indiana's campus had a large encampment. And so when a lot of those things happened, statements had to be made. So I was the one who was communicating with our 7 Jewish chapters. Hey, I need you to sign this statement. Here's why. I literally went from being like level 0 of being involved to level 100. It was like the flip of a switch. I really loved planning events in the Jewish world, and I loved being that connecting piece between Greek life and Judaism because I felt like it was missing. And we have 7 strong and vibrant Jewish chapters on our campus, and they just weren't being represented well enough. I think one of the hardest parts of leaving college was knowing that I was leaving behind such a great Jewish community at college. And I was reminded by a very, very smart friend that although I was leaving that part behind, I could find a whole new vibrant Jewish community in Chicago, which is so true. And I'm lucky that I have so many connections to get me there. And I feel like I am now at that stage in my life where I have to choose, all right, how involved do I want to be? So I definitely see myself staying very involved because it is something that is near and dear to my heart. And I think eventually I want to end up working in Jewish nonprofit events anyway. So I feel like it's something that's going to stick with me. And I'm glad that it will because honestly, it has taken my life to a full 360 and the best way possible. And I wear it loud and proud, so I hope that I continue to for the rest of my life.
Thanks for listening to Mazel Talk from ADL's Higher Ed. To learn more about how to fight anti-Semitism on your campus, go to notoleranceforantisemitism.adl.org. To report a campus anti-Semitism incident, text call help, all one word, to 51555 or go to adl.org/call for free legal help. Subscribe to Higher Ed today for weekly conversations and stories about Jewish campus life. Please rate and review us, and if you have a story to share, email us at highered@adl.org. That's CHAIERED@adl.org. We look forward to hearing your stories. I'm your host, Luda Saharov, and this is Higher Ed.